Hey there guys, welcome to the third playthrough for Warhammer 40,000 Imperium. Obviously third playthrough being for issue 3 of the magazine. So you can see here I've got the model set up and I've got a little homemade dice tray there that will now keep the dice right where we want them, as long as the tray doesn't shift too much. I'm trying a top-down camera method for this one, so you guys can let me know down in the comments what you think of that, or if you prefer a slightly forward angle one, let me know. So going through the rules and setup, obviously I've set up, we've got the objective marker here, the 3 assault intercessors and our 3 Necron Warriors. In this, we are learning essentially about close combat using the assault intercessors, but we also learn how to advance, which is sort of an extended move. So you get your standard move, but you can then move a little bit further using a D6, which I'll explain when we get to it. Also, for the assault intercessors, on their little stat block on the rules and setup page, you can see you've got 3 things highlighted in red: the weapon skill of a 3+, 2 attacks, and the type melee for the Astartes chainsword. They do have a heavy bolt pistol as well. I think it does show you how to shoot with that in the playthrough, but obviously they're focusing around the close combat. One other thing to note with this, the Necron Warriors have 2 wounds and a 3+ save, and I do believe that is different. I will just check that with my official rules. Where are we? Necron Warriors. So obviously here I'm just looking at the codex here. So typically they have a 4+ save instead of 3+. So I don't know why they've lowered it for the Necron Warriors. I'm assuming it's to make it easier, otherwise these guys are going to wipe through them way too quick. So they're giving them that little bit extra save, and they actually only have 1 wound, but we're getting 2 wounds for this playthrough. So a couple of little bits there that you may notice are different to what they were previously used, but that's just because you've got 3 Necron Warriors against 3 Space Marines, which does make them kind of outnumbered, although obviously it's 3 on 3, they are a bit outmatched. Space Marines are generally tougher than Necrons, which is why it's always a good idea to try and field quite a few of them. So playing through, we are going to roll, move our Necrons one at a time using the range ruler. The models can advance, so keep the models outside of the enemy engagement range. So the enemy engagement range is 1 inch around his base, so you can't go, so I think it's roughly that. Obviously you could measure it with a tape measure, but it's pretty much that. You can't go within that area, as that counts as then entering close combat. So you just have to make sure that you're staying around that area when moving. So first of all, what we're going to do is advance, move our warriors. So what I'm going to do is, we'll get this guy as far up the table as possible. So we're going to roll a d6, get it in the pot if it can help. So 6 plus their 5-inch move means I can move him 11 inches. So that's now going to put me in very close range with this guy here. So what I'm going to do is try and run right over there. So there, that's not bad for a first go, although he's obviously going to attack him. I'm actually going to be sneaky. I'm going to advance this guy as well. So again, roll that. I have to check that dice. So we've got 11 inches there towards that node. Now what I'm going to do is just move this guy this way for 3 inches. Now I'm not worried about this guy. it's these two engaging these two. So what I'm actually going to try and do is take this guy out. So all 3 Necrons are going to fire at this guy. They have 2 dice each, so that is 6 dice, and they hit on 3 or more. So let's have a look. So we've got 1, 2 that miss. So now he has to save on, again, 3s or more. And 2 fail. And as he has 2 wounds, he's dead. So 1 down, 2 to go. And that's exactly what I wanted, because what I can do now is, it's now the Space Marine's turn. Obviously, Necrons, they didn't have to do too much. I didn't want to get into close combat. But now the Space Marines do. So we're going to move 6 inches to the closest model, but keeping outside of engagement range. So obviously we're only going to move to about there. Same with this guy, move to there. And then we're going to charge. So for charging, you check that the assault intercessor is within 12 inches of a Necron warrior. If so, roll 2 dice, and this is the charge distance. Now obviously I'm only an inch away, or just over an inch away on both of them, so technically I wouldn't need to roll, because the minimum I can move is 2, but I've got 7. So he is going to go into combat with him. Right, now if the distance was not enough, so if I was, say, 9 inches away, he doesn't get to charge the 7. He doesn't move at all. If you can't make it to base-to-base contact, you don't move. So if I was back here on the B, for example, and I rolled, there you go, 2. 2 inches only gets me to here. That's not enough, so I don't get to move 2 inches. You just ignore it. So that guy's in hand-to-hand combat. We'll do the same for the other one, and obviously he's going to reach, so they're now both in melee combat, and because I got magnets, they're wanting to grip each other a little bit, so they really are going to fight it out. So we've done the move phase. Obviously they barely needed to move. We've done the charge phase. We then move on to the fight phase. So the fight phase usually comes after shooting. I think the order that it would be is move, shoot, charge, fight. But I could be wrong, but we'll do it the order that they are showing in the magazine. So, fight. If an assault intercessor is within engagement range of any Necron warriors, they can fight. Find the attacks on the assault intercessor's datasheet. Assault intercessors have 2 attacks, so roll 2 dice. The assault intercessors are deadly with their chainswords. Compare the results on each dice with the weapon skill 3+. So anything of a 3 or higher is a hit. So there you go, we've got 2 hits. And then again, so keep any successful, these may have slain the Necron. So the Necron player, for each hit, the Necron player rolls 1 save. Compare the dice result to save 4+. So we get a 4+, 2 dice, and 1 failed. So that Necron is now down to one wound. And as I said before, you can work up or you can work down, but keep it consistent and make sure your opponent knows how you're playing. Me, I like to work down. So he started with 2 wounds, he now has 1 wound, although this would work obviously both ways. A model with, say, 8 wounds and he lost 1, I would put 7 there and not work my way up, I would work down. But that's just the way that I like to play. So he's got 1 wound left. So over to this guy. So again, he has 2 attacks and he failed 1 and succeeded with the other, and now the Necron will save on a 6. So all he needed a 3+, but he saved it, so no wounds for him. So end of the turn, back over to the Necrons. So the Necrons, they actually say move and shoot. So what I'm first going to do is move the Necron 3 inches and get him onto that. Essentially at the start of my next Necron turn, this Necron is going to win. Now, they do say in here you can fall back. So the first Necron Warrior starts the turn within engagement range. It can only fall back, so the Necron player moves it 5 inches. So a fall back is basically when you move away. Now, the reason they are saying this, if I am correct, they don't have a weapon skill on the data sheet for these guys. Now, Necrons do have a weapon skill. Obviously, that will be later on in the collection that we'll learn about weapon skills for both sides. But for now, what they're encouraging us to do is learn the fallback, which basically you just disengage and move away. So we're going to do that with both. And then all 3 of them, no, we'll have these 2 shoot at this guy. So we'll resolve that first. So that's 4 shots, scoring on 3s or more. So all of them hit, and he will try and save on 3s or more. And 1 fail, so he is down to 1 wound. Then this guy is going to shoot at the other intercessor there, so he's going to shoot here. And we hit on 1, or on the 3, and then he's going to try to save, which he does successfully. So that's the end of the Necron's turn. Now, obviously you don't have to fall back once you know the rules. You can fight back in melee combat, but they are slightly different rules as to what you would do on your first turn of charging and attacking. So for now, we're just following the rules of the magazine. So, Space Marine's turn. Obviously, we're doing the... we're not going to move, we're just going to try and charge. So, 6. This guy is going to charge here. The reason being is he's going to try and kill this Necron before that node captured counts. And then this one charging this guy, purely because he is close and we don't want him moving on to that. So 8 inches, obviously we know it's enough, so he successfully charges. Now they get to attack. So we'll resolve this first. So 2 hits, both hit, and the Necron gets saves and 1 fails. And I believe they are 2 wounds here, so he is down to 1 wound, which is not good. That's not what we wanted. And then we'll do the same here. So again, 2 attacks, both hit, both defended. He needed 3s or more to save, so no injuries on him. And that's the end of the Space Marine's turn. So back to the Necrons. It's the start of the Necron player's turn, and he is on the objective there. So Necrons win. So yeah, there you go. Not too difficult, guys. Basically, move in as soon as you're in base-to-base contact and you've finished all your moving. So you move everything first, then you'll do your shooting, then your charging, and then the close combat, the melee. Now there are other phases as well that will be slotted in those, but for now, just go through the game, practicing moving, shooting, fallback, and advancing. And as you saw, advancing can get your guys up the field pretty quick to where they need to be. Essentially, yeah, they can move 11 inches instead of the usual 5. There are additional rules that will come into play later on with regards to advancing. Some units, if you advance, you can't shoot. They have to just make a normal move. Some models may even need to remain stationary. But yeah, so for now, that's the end of the episode. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. If you did, remember guys, I'm only doing these for the first 10 episodes. for the first 10 issues of the magazine, unless I get a good amount of support from you guys by hitting them thumbs up buttons. So if you enjoyed the video and you would like to see more of this, hit that thumbs up button. If you're not yet subscribed and would like to subscribe, hit that subscribe button. Ding that bell so that you get notifications of when all 3 new videos go up every Wednesday. And if you are recently subscribed, a warm welcome to the inner circle to you. But until next time, guys, take it easy. Keep painting those minis.